Alright, hello guys. I'm going to be technically doing a second attempt at this video because the last one was 41 minutes. We're not doing that. Let's see how quick we can make this. I'm gonna leave out a whole bunch of stuff and make separate videos. So you'll notice the title of this video will be somewhere along the lines of Nova Scotia Lighthouse seen from Maine. That is going to be the last thing I look at, and that is going to be in here somewhere. But we went to Eastern Nubble, yeah, right here. Actually, you can see it right here. KNUBBLE Preserve Trail. So Eastern Nubble Preserve Trail in Maine leads you. It's kind of like in Cutler, Maine, and you can kind of look over and see the islands. This is what you'll be. So we're here in Cutler, and this is where you go. You go to this trail, and I don't know exactly how you hike through here, but you somehow hike through here on that trail. It's a pretty simple trail to get here. So from here, my viewpoint, and I still haven't figured out how to turn this around. I can do it on my app, but I cannot do it on my computer. So from there, this little section, from this viewpoint, a good portion of the left side of your view is covered by this island right here, which you can see, and it is... This one's not too bad. This is about the distance of my great ducks. I want to get it pretty. Oh, I like the app version better on my phone. So this island, like 14.8 would probably be the ledge that you'll see. The lighthouse that you'll see in my videos will be 14.7-ish. 7.6. And then you can see a little bit further over, but it gets cut off by this right here, this little section here. So you'll see this, and then past that, you'll have view from here to about this direction. So past this, so we'll be able to see this, but past it, to the right of it in my view and my footage, we find something very interesting. It's really hard to zoom out and keep it exactly. About down like this, approximately, that I can see. It's really hard. So, you'll notice, actually let's try Mayettville, put the point there and see what that does. There we go. Actually, so we can see even further than that. So, see what I mean? It's kind of hard to do it from a zoomed out view. So even further than that is what we can see. Out this direction. Well, not that we can necessarily see, but that's our view range from that direction over here to over here. From here to here. Ish. Somewhere. What you'll notice in my footage is I'll catch this island, I'll get a whole bunch of stuff there, but then to the right of that island, which should only be ocean. Only. And boats, don't get me wrong, I got a lot of boat footage too. I'm going to do a completely separate video on boats though, because that's part of what took forever. But, so this is 62 miles. I do not believe what I found is 62 miles away, and it's very simply because I paid attention to the direction I was facing. And not to mention, I specifically went there looking for this. Not Whipple Point, where is it? It's right on the edge over here. Here we go. It's hard to tell. Well, actually, no, the shadow makes it obvious. There is a lighthouse. So that lighthouse, let's do this real quick. Go back to my spot. Which that lighthouse was actually seen from a little bit further left. Measure. I gotta zoom in. Yeah, these rocks. So it's before those rocks. So it's in here in the shade. It's like right on the tree. Yeah, this stick right here. So it's right on this piece of wood right here is where I was. To lighthouse. 48.62 miles. And of course my view was further down here. So another thing that makes it pretty obvious, yeah, or not pretty, not another thing, but to show you what I mean, when I was looking at the left side and looking at this island and then realizing what my view was, which is somewhere in this area, it's hard to tell, but I can go do a line. But what I was looking at was halfway approximately between the island and the right side of my view. Now, there is technically a lighthouse 60 some odd miles away if you guys really want to claim that's what it is. I know it's not this particular one. Oh, where is it? I don't know. It's somewhere in here. I know it's not this one for a couple reasons. I'm pretty sure this one's active wherever it is. Yeah, this is a weird one. I could never find it earlier on the actual Google Maps. It's a really weird shape. There it is, right here. I think it's actually connected. I have to go back and look. But it was halfway in my view from here to there, which puts it at this lighthouse. Go look at all the lighthouses in the area. Not very many. I also know that this one is inactive, and I did not get the light flash on this one, which I did happen to get light flashes from these ones. And I tried really hard to look another 20 miles. I really did. But the right side of my view was just water. And then a layer of haze. We're going to explain all this, but let's move on. The thing I want to do before anti-gravity, you can see what I like looking at. I'm weird. Yeah, speaking of which, real quick, everybody needs to go to the Royal, what do they call it? Oh, what are they called? I just saw it. The Royal Lectures. Oh my gosh, Royal Institution. The lectures they do there constantly. They have a bunch of old ones, and you really need to go back and read them or watch those. Go find them. Seriously. The things that they present there are absolutely crazy. And then they tell you today a whole bunch of crap that does not align with that. Anyway, so the reason why I'm going to show you these two videos right here, Great Duck Mirage, again, is because I need to set up a little scene here for you, because you need to understand what you're looking at. And you need to know why it is you can't see forever. And this is why. So, let's turn the sound off of it. So in this particular one, you'll see in the beginning that I do manage to get the lighthouse, and you can tell that it's the lighthouse, right? But conditions change throughout the day. This is normal, and this one actually happened in a couple minutes. It was hard to get it back. But this is all day, every day. I stood there for hours yesterday at the new spot. Oh, the conditions just... I can show you it changing in a couple minutes in the lighthouse when I show you the lighthouse. But me trying to find this lighthouse again at 1 miles. Yeah, 9.11. Do you see what happens to the lighthouse? You see the lighting? Now, the lighthouse is definitely there. I've caught it on numerous occasions. This is Petit Mandan, not the one that I'm going to show you. This one I'm going to show you is new. I'm showing you an old example because I want you to understand, right? Look at what's happening here. You can see a little bit of the dark top, but this goes in and out. Whether or not you can see it. There's atmosphere, there's lighting, there's all sorts of stuff that make it hard to see it. This is 9.1 miles, and what I'm trying to look for, what I went out there to find, was 48.6 miles away. Can you imagine the difficulty, even with a really nice zoom camera? I struggled at 9 miles. Yes, I'm going to struggle at 48 miles, you need to understand. But regardless, it doesn't change the fact that I shouldn't have found anything but water, first of all. 48 miles out in the ocean. So, bam, first of all. And then, of course, the miraging, because also what you're going to see is a little bit of this. And another one that needs to be silenced. You need to go back and watch my videos. There's a couple examples of miraging. Right? Real object, mirage. Real object, mirage. Real object, mirage. And mirages are flipped upside down. But when they are flipped upside down, you'll notice it doesn't keep the entire boat flipped upside down. It only gives you like the top portion of it, right? So you're not going to get the bottom of the boat. If it were an island or a mountain, you're not going to get the bottom of the mountain in the mirage. You're only going to get the top portion of the image, right? Now, it kind of depends on the conditions, but typically out in the ocean, you don't get full island flips just because of the way it layers every time I zoom in to massive, great distances. Whew. Anyway, so you have miraging. And these are the islands that I typically look for. This is not what I did today, but you can see the miraging. Where's the, oh wait, that's the blue. I can't. So here is the island, which I can go out on clear days and I have footage of it. And then the image is upside down. You can kind of see it. It's hard to tell, but you can see this image right here is upside down right here and then layered. But then sometimes it upside downs and layers twice. So having said that, let's go look at what I got yesterday. Let's start with an earlier one. Yeah, I'm not gonna get much better than that because what we're looking at is distort. Yeah. So this was earlier in the day. This is when I first got there. I don't know if it was like 8, 9 in the morning, something like that. But yeah, the struggle. I got there, I was like, oh, I really hope. But you can see where the island is. So you can see it ends right here. But look at what it looks like. Granted, I waited hours, and it's always worth waiting hours because images change throughout the day. They don't move up and down because it's on a level plane. No, they don't jump. Refraction, first of all, go prove it. Go prove that an object can jump that high up. The object I'm going to show you in a little while is like well over 1,000 feet off. So tell me a lighthouse can jump that far in a mirage. No, it doesn't. They never do. The object is always connected to the mirage. But yeah, that's the bad condition. So just to kind of show you that. So this is the island on the left side, and then to the right behind it would be Nova Scotia. But just to show you, and then let's see, somewhere. Now here, even in that nastiness, I managed to show you, I gotta show you what it actually looks like, huh? So you know what you're seeing here. Here is Southwest Head Lighthouse. So Southwest Head Lighthouse is this one over here, the closer one, right? Southwest Head Lighthouse. And it has, actually this is a good one here. It has this tower, has a little lighthouse, and then, can I get rid of the lighthouse and just find the island to kind of show you? Kind of. It does kind of end over here. These, I can't find an image with it, but it ends kind of like right here. There's the end of it here. And then the lighthouse would be over here. So it kind of comes down and does this great cut down, right? Nice, big, fast, down to shore. So, in this image, you can't tell that great cut down, but eventually you'll see it when it clears up. But this is the lighthouse and then that big tower. And this, in some of my videos, flashes. I don't know if I'll be able to catch it in this. I don't know. I did see it in one of my videos. The problem is I have so many videos, I don't know which one it was in. But it does flash. You can go out there and try this yourself. So there's that. Oh, I shut it. I didn't mean to shut it. That's cool. And then further in the day, things start to clear up a little better. And I don't want to do that yet because that's the one I want. What about this one? No, that one goes back to miraging. Where is it? I've got a good one of that island somewhere. Got a lot of boats too. Oh, I think I saw the corner of it. Nope, where'd it go? So the island cleared up by the end of the day. And then you could start, oh man, I wish I could see. You could start seeing the features in it. And I could start from the naked eye, I could start seeing the brown, like, I don't know, with different colored rocks. You can kind of see right there. I thought I saw the edge of it so you could see how it cuts down. There it is. You see that? So that's the edge of it. And then the, oh, come on, scoot over. The little tower that is not very focused on right there. Yeah, sifting through my footage is hard. I get a lot. I'm out there for hours at a time, constantly waiting for the opportune moment. With some boats. So I got a really good look at that tower at one point. Well, here's a good, almost a pretty good a view of like my actual range. It's not quite as far, but to the right of these rocks here is a cliff. So that was my view. So I was kind of trying to sneak in there a little bit, which is where I believe the other lighthouse, 60 some odd miles away, would be in here. But what I was looking for was more in this range right here. It's more halfway with my view here. So I was looking for the, well, I also was looking for the one that was further away, and I was expecting it to be over here, but the issue over here is my camera, and even when I zoomed all the way in, like in order for my camera to focus, I have to zoom in really, really far so it recognizes that I'm trying to zoom into something really far before I hit record. But for some reason, even over here, when I zoomed far enough in to get rid of the rocks out of the camera view, it wanted to focus this. So it was really hard, but even then, it's just, it's another 20 miles on top of the 48. It was, yeah, it's really hard. I need a better camera. Someday we'll upgrade. But you can see here the drop off. I zoomed in on it. This is my view from almost zoomed all the way out, I would assume. I don't know if it got all the way out, but pretty darn close because here's the rocks I'm at, right on the water here. But yeah, so it drops right here. There's your nice long drop cliff, and then there's the tower in here somewhere. I'd have to zoom in to see it because when you look out there, like I know what I'm looking at, so I see islands when I look out there, but sometimes people look out there and they think it's just like a line distortion on the water, and I'm like, no, get a camera, zoom in on it, you'll find stuff. It's not just distortion, there's islands back there too, and the reason why it has such dark distortion is because there's an island there creating a mirage. So that's why you get such great distortions. You'll notice that some of that distortion by the end of the day was actually gone out here because what I'm looking for is so far away that the distortion is smaller than this. Because this is 15 miles, this is 50 miles. So your distortion is going to be even thinner than this little tiny thin line right here from naked eye view. You need something that can zoom that far. I don't quite have enough for that. I need to get a slightly more powerful camera someday. They're expensive though, so it's going to be a while. But I still managed to get something. So anyway, so there's the island. You saw the tower there. Those aren't even my greatest focus today because my greatest focus is right here. Now this is the crappy version when I attempted to get it back. So this is the second video I tried to take of it, and I began losing it even more. I messed with my settings like crazy, but it was so hard. But even here you can kind of still see it's really hard, but you can kind of see like the little bit of piece of land here that juts out on this one. So this one has a little bit of land here that juts out, and then this is on it, and then the rest of the land is a little bit back. So you'll notice that what I'm looking at is a little bit more pronounced. And I don't know, hopefully it'll come through to YouTube. I can see it. I can see the bottom here that appears to be a tiny bit of like a cliff land here that's jutting out compared to there's nothing to the right or left of it. And then that little. But yeah, I massively struggled after that first one. I'm glad I did it the first time. And left it there. Time lapse. Bunny? No. No. Sorry. I got a rabbit. She likes to come and hang out. But yeah, you can kind of see now. Hopefully it's on pause. Right here. Oh, come on. So you'll notice that this portion of it, just like in Pettit Mannon, is a little bit harder to detect. Which actually, this up here, this might be miraging here. The blue one's easier, so we're going to go over that. But you can see I got it a couple times. It was really hard, but it was exactly where I expected it to be. So I was able to zoom back in on it and find it again from a different position. So it is exactly what I expected it to be. It is exactly where I expected it to be, and it's exactly where the map says it's going to be. It's hard to see, but it's there. So 108. Now this is the best I could get of it, but now, consider this. We have a line here. This line is a miraging effect. Okay? So you're going to see this appears really strangely tall because it actually mirages here. Also, it splits into two. And let's see. I get it stabilized and I put it on for like 3 minutes. Now, if I fast forward this, look at my mirage turning into 2 layers and extending the length of that image. The lighthouse is not actually that tall. These are images that are getting flipped and messed with because of the miraging. You see that? How it separates and it's going to come back together from earlier when it was 1. There. So that is your miraging. But what happens with mirages? Go back and watch my mirage video. The object that is miraging is in your view in order for you to see the mirage. That object right here, hopefully this comes through in YouTube, but you can see this little section here jutting out, and then you can see this structure. Now also with the Petit Manin, how hard was it at 9 miles for me to get it? I had to play with my lighting on my camera and my settings like crazy to make this come through, but I managed to finally get it. And actually, surprisingly enough, I thought less light would make it come through, but it actually was more light that made this come through. Shows how much I know. I don't really care. I did whatever it took to get it, but so you'll see here I have a, once I get still here, I leave it there. Now, any of my footage of boats, any boat, go to the ocean and follow a boat and tell me that it doesn't move to your left or your right at all. Not even a centimeter. Boats out on the ocean, unless it's unless it's taking a 100% straight line from you to that destination over that lighthouse over there, odds are it's going to move left and right, because every single boat I've ever looked at, especially most of those are fishing boats, so they tend to do circles. Actually, they go in circles, they go to different areas, they check pots. We got a lot of crabbers. I don't really know, there's a few different types out there right now, but yeah, they don't go and sit firm like a strong building built on a rock like this one. Look at this. This is a building. This is the lighthouse exactly where it was supposed to be in Nova Scotia, 48.6 miles away. So why can't we see infinitely far? Is it because there's a curve? Or is it because at 9 miles, you struggle with lighting, with atmosphere, with distortion, with miraging? At 9 miles, Great Duck is a constant challenge for me because like 70-80% of the time I go out there, it is miraging and having obnoxious effects that make it hard to record. But I'm persistent and you'll see that some of my footage does come out pretty good. But that's at short distances I struggle. It's there, you can see it with the naked eye, but you still struggle. What do you think is going to happen at 48 miles? What do you think is going to happen at 60 to 100 miles across the ocean? You really think that you can just see as far as the eye can possibly... Well, first of all, your eye is limited. Hopefully you understand that your eyes are limited. Your devices are limited to an extent. But regardless, even if they weren't, you're looking through thick atmosphere. At short distances, even clean atmosphere, dirty atmosphere, at short distances, not that bad. Fog, yeah, that's a problem. But even on a clear day, it's like people in their minds, they think, well, I can see, right? So I can see infinitely far because there's nothing in the air stopping me from seeing the tree in front of me, the house there, the car a mile away. Like there's nothing really preventing you. So in people's minds, they think, oh, well, you should be able to see infinitely far then, right? No. The air is full of gases. Not to mention on the ocean, lots of water and waves kick up tons of mist. Good luck. If you really think that you could see infinitely far, and you think that's gonna, the fact that you can't prove somehow a ball, I mean, sure. But that just shows that you haven't gone out there and put in the massive amount of hours it takes to test your theory. My theory was very simply that you just can't see infinitely far because there's crap in the way. Sure enough, I'm looking at a lighthouse 48 miles away that looks like 2 different lighthouses at times. That looks like it's jumping up. It's not actually jumping up. The mirage, the object that's creating the mirage, is right there in my view and I can see it. And it's right side up. So, I mean, I could rant forever, on and on and on, you know, but I'm going to leave it at that. Hopefully, you guys get the point. Hopefully, you guys stop just assuming you're right. You get cameras, you get your telescopes, you go out there, and when you fail, you do it again, and when you fail, you do it again, and you go out there over and over and over again, and stop assuming that just because you didn't get it the first time, that you live on a ball. Science is not that easy, guys. It takes dedication, and you fail a lot. But you learn a lot when you fail, just like I teach my kid. So I learn a lot. I learned that I need a better camera too, but I also learned a lot about my settings and how to get things to kind of clear up a little bit. I learned a lot about miraging, and I've looked at a lot of different examples. I've been doing this for quite some time now. I've been studying the model for, oh Lord, how many years? I don't even know at this point. I know it was before I woke up in 2019. Definitely. 2019 hit everybody. That was, it's weird because you would think it'd be 2020 when everyone actually found out about all that stuff. But no, the stuff that woke everybody up, the event that happened in 2019, and it happened to everyone at the same time. Regardless, my studying of this started long before that, and it didn't quite make sense to me until I had a lot more information. And it also didn't make sense to me until I got out there and I studied it as hard as I studied the globe model in astronomy. Put in the effort. Well, first of all, understand what the globe model says, because you need to understand that the globe model very clearly breaks a lot of laws of physics. Breaks magnetism laws too. Doesn't make any sense whatsoever if you were actually to look at it. But the problem is people are so in love with it, and they're so, not to mention you're taught it when you're a child and you're not given any other option. So it's going to be hard. But guys, oh, and I didn't even tell you why this, oh, okay, this is why this is hard. We'll wrap it up with this number here. 48.6 miles, for those who do not know. Now this particular one was, 15, but I could literally put whatever the crap I wanted in there and it wouldn't matter. It still is impossible. 48.6. That lighthouse stands 95 feet above water level. It is 60 feet in and of itself, but it is 95 feet above water level. We're about 1,000, almost 100 over. Point being, for of course, quick wrap up again. Why? So if I'm standing here and I got all this stuff here, okay, here's my ground, I can see out here. If the object is down here on a ball, I can see this way. I can't see down a ball. Like, put anything, grab a basketball or anything, put like a tiny little grain of rice on it and put a camera on there. Test how you can see things on a ball. Obviously, you can't see what's on the bottom of the ball, but essentially this is your formula. So that lighthouse should be way the crap down here. Nowhere near my view. But people are telling me that because of refraction, it can jump it up 1,000 some odd. Okay, well. Explain that to, who was it, Rob Skiba, who tested that guy who said, oh, what you're seeing here is a mirage of the Chicago skyline. What did Rob Skiba got in a boat, got it on camera, and went to the mirage, which happened to be real. Are you just going to believe whatever someone on a television says when we all know by now that TV is literally brainwashing? Very literally, that's what they tested. That's what they've been doing science studies on for quite some time. They found out that they can flash things that you can't see, and they can do different lighting at different times, different timings, and create different effects. So they can play a movie and put something you can't see in there, and they can flash it a certain way, and they can change the way your brain works. Anyway, it's brainwashing. So you're just going to sit there and take whatever someone says it's a mirage without going and testing it? How about you go to the shore, get all these so-called mirages that people keep telling me, not mirages, well, no, he said it was a mirage. First of all, mirages are upside down. So even that news reporter is a fool, because he clearly doesn't even know what a mirage is. But then even refraction. Go out there and find that refracted image, hop on a boat, go sail to it. Keep it in your camera the whole time. Rob Skiba did it. Guys, I'm not foolish enough to think that that lighthouse jumped 1,200 feet, okay? No. But watch what happens. I could be 100 feet. I'm on the shore. But I could be 100 feet, which is nowhere near land that I was near at that time. Nowhere near the water. I don't have that elevation out there. How about, what would it take? I think about 65. So about, I'd have to have that much elevation. And I'm on the shore. I gave it 15. I didn't think it was actually 15. But I scooted back a little bit in the rocks. But I always way over my level. At the rocks down at the bottom, it was, my camera sits at 4 feet 6. So I measured that in one of my videos. I forgot to show you. But like I said, these videos are taking forever and I'm trying to wrap it up. But I can always post a ton of raw footage in my raw footage files if people want them. But so at 15, guys, right side up image, upside down mirage image, because this darker portion is the top, just like you saw in Pettit Mannin. The top of the lighthouse is darker than the bottom. Doesn't matter what color it is, like the metal aspect of it is way easier for my camera to spot. So it comes out darker. And that's what this is. This is the top of the lighthouse. And it doesn't mirage up any further because you don't get the bottom of the lighthouse upside down. You just get the top of it in the mirages, just like I showed in the mirages. Guys, this, my friends, is Nova Scotia from Maine. Earth is definitely flat, guys. I love you, but it's not a ball. Peace out, guys.